Hello and welcome to AI for Seniors, the series where I show you how you can use AI in your daily life for work or just for fun. In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can actually use AI for research, for writing, and again, just for fun. And we're going to be using a platform called ChatGPT. Now, this series is specifically made for seniors. We're going to take things slow. It's going to be simple, nothing complicated, and we're only going to learn what we actually need to know. Nothing more than that. But let's get started with who I am. So, my name is Kurosh, and I built an accessibility tool for my dad, who's an older guy. Now, my tool is used by thousands of people across the world now, and they're slightly older people, and I talk to them on a daily basis. Just speaking to them showed me how little information there is out there for seniors to learn how to properly use this amazing new technology. And I think I can show you how to do it properly because I use AI every single day. So let's get started. Here's what we're gonna learn today. We're gonna learn how to use AI for research, for writing, and for fun, and we're going to be using ChatGPT, which is the first and the biggest AI app out there. It can write text for you, it can do research, and it can also generate images, actually. So firstly, we're going to go to ChatGPT, and then I'm going to show you how you can also set up data controls for privacy so the information you give the AI isn't used anywhere else. Finally, we're going to learn how to do really great work with AI. Something that you're going to see is that it's very easy to use AI, but it can be a little bit difficult to really get the best out of this new tool. And as the very first step, we're gonna go to chat.com, which is the domain for ChatGPT. So simply open your browser or open a new tab and type in chat.com in the URL. So for example, here, chat.com, and it will take you to a page that looks like this. And this is the page for ChatGPT. The first thing that I would recommend you to do is to log in or sign up for free, because a lot of the things that we're going to do are going to require you to have an account here. The way you can do it is by clicking on sign up for free up here, and then you select any of the sign-in options. Once you have done that, your page should look like this. The login and sign up buttons should be gone, and we can now get started. Just to give you a little bit of information about the page, this chat field, this text input, is the most important part of this entire page, because this is where we're going to talk to the AI. And the first thing we want to do is we want to ask it to write a poem for us. And the way you can do that is by clicking into this text field in here, and then you write down your instruction. Write a poem for me in the style of Ernest Hemingway. So I dictate usually rather than typing, because I don't really love typing. So I have my text in here, my instruction in here, and then to send it on, we're gonna click on this button. Now in this button, it says send prompt. What is a prompt? A prompt is what we call a message to the AI. So people don't talk about instructions, they don't talk about messages, they always talk about prompts. You're prompting the AI to do something. So let's click on send. Great. So the AI took a couple of seconds, and now it came back with this poem for us. Great. We've used AI now. Fantastic. Now let's ask it to rewrite this poem for us for one very specific learning. And I'm just going to say, rewrite it for me in the style of Shakespeare. Again, I send it on, and then it can rewrite this poem that it gave to us. And the reason why I did that is to show you that this isn't just a single instruction and an outcome. This is a conversation. And in the world of AI, we talk about memory and context. So the AI will remember every message and every output in a single conversation that you had with it. So it's not just a thing like sending it a prompt to write you an email. If you don't like the output, you can ask it to rewrite it. All of the information that you give it in a single chat is gonna be remembered by it. But now let's do this. Go to the sidebar and click on this button here to open a new chat. Now here, I'm gonna ask it, do you remember the poem you wrote for me. And now it's gonna think, and there we go. I don't have it in this chat. I can't see the poem. Between conversations, the AI will not remember. In a single conversation, the AI will remember everything you talked about. So let's take a closer look at this. ChatGPT remembers everything about your previous messages in a single conversation. It will not remember anything between chats. But when you are using the AI, when you're using ChatGPT, it will remember certain things about you. For example, if you say, my name is Kurosh, it has a feature called memory where it will remember these special things about you. So for example, what it usually remembers is your name, your job, your hobbies, all of that kind of stuff. And it does it so in the future chats, whenever you ask it anything, it can tap into that memory and be like, okay, I know that this is Kurosh who's speaking to me. I know that Kurosh develops software. I should respond to him in the context of me having this information, all right? We can use this to our advantage, but let's talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about everything that ChatGPT understands apart from just messages that we send it. It can also understand pictures, videos, and files that we send to it. But before we go ahead and we send it a file, first, let's make sure that our privacy controls are in place. And the way you can do that is if you're signed in, go down here where you have your little icon with your name, click on it. Then within this menu, click on settings. Then within the settings, go to data controls and then click on the first item, improve the model for everyone. You want to make sure that this is turned off. This way, none of your information in the chats is going to be used by OpenAI, the company of ChatGPT, to train any of their models. Everything remains private with you. Great. Now that we have done that, let's start a new chat. So again, up here, click on this button. And then I want to upload an image. And the way I can do that is by going here. I click on the plus button. Then I click on add photos and files and I select an image and I upload it. So this is an image of myself and my cat Romeo. And we're just gonna say, explain what you see in this image. And then we send it on. All right. So ChatGPT sees a young man indoors wearing a white t-shirt and a black baseball cap and also a gray cat standing in front of him. So this is super powerful and you can send it pictures of things that you don't understand and you can then just ask ChatGPT to explain that image to you. And here's one example of how I use this in my own life. I was in Lisbon in Portugal and I was alone on the street and I saw a statue that I liked, but I didn't have any information about it. I sent ChatGPT a picture of that statue and I just said, explain who this person is to me. And it did that. And that is one of the examples of how you can have fun with ChatGPT. It doesn't always have to be about work, right? Great. Now let's see how we can upload files. Again, let's start a new chat. We click on plus, we click on add photos and files, and then we're gonna select the file to upload. And now I'm just gonna say, summarize this PDF for me. And it can access this PDF that I gave it and it will give me the summary. So this PDF is about non-stick cookware just because I'm interested in it right now. Not very exciting, but this is the summary that it gave to me. And this is actually one of the biggest use cases of AI. You get a document that is like 40 pages long. You don't want to read it, upload it to the AI, ask it to summarize it for you, and you're good to go. Now, if you have done everything that I've done in this video so far, there's a very good chance that ChatGPT prompted you to pay for it. Now, let's talk about whether you should pay for the AI. My opinion is, yeah, just pay for it, but with a couple of caveats, of course. Pay for the lowest plan. All right, ChatGPT will offer you 3-4 different plans that each cost more than the one before it. And you never need more than the lowest plan. I can guarantee you that. Then if you do want to pay for it, only pay for the monthly plan. Never go for the yearly plan. With the monthly plan, you can cancel it at any time. And if you've seen my previous video, you're gonna know that the different companies who create these AI bots always beat each other on like a basically daily basis. So next month, another platform is gonna be better than ChatGPT. And then finally, only pay when you're actually asked to pay. In this tutorial, we've uploaded an image, a file, we've had multiple chats with it. This is gonna reach our free limit very quickly. Maybe you won't ever reach that on a daily basis, right? So only pay for it when you truly need to pay for it and it is prompting you to pay for it. Let's go through what we've learned so far, because believe it or not, you've used AI, you now know how to use AI. So you know how to go to ChatGPT, one of the best platforms out there for AI. You know how to send it a message, you know how to add files and images, and you know about memory and context. All right? So you know how to use AI. Now let's learn how to use it really, really well. Using AI really well is just about using a tool really well. So for example, if you gave me a nail gun right now, I would know how to use that nail gun, right? I can shoot a nail out of it, but I'll probably not use it properly, right? If you give that same nail gun to an expert, they will use it really, really well just because they know how to use that tool. AI is just a tool. You can learn how to use it properly. And luckily, it's not as dangerous as a nail gun for your health and safety right now. And it is actually quite easy to use AI really well. People always overcomplicate this, but the way to think about using AI well is to think of you being the AI, all right? Imagine you, the person, are ChatGPT that I'm talking to right now, and I give you a certain set of instructions. Let's use the example of I want you to plan a trip for me, okay? Now, I can either come to you and tell you, plan a trip for me. That's it. That is my entire instruction to you. And you will do a really bad job. You will give me an itinerary probably, but you don't know my budget, you don't know my preferred activities, you don't know my preferred destinations, and you don't even know the context of my trip. Is it a work trip? Is it for my honeymoon? What is it? You will always do a bad job, and humans, all of us, we will always do a bad job on a certain task if we don't have all of the information. Think about all of the bad managers you've had in your work life who just asked you to do something but never gave you proper instructions, and how annoying that was. It is the same thing with the AI. So the difference between using it well and using it badly is how much instructions you give it. And let's go deeper into our trip example. Let's give ChatGPT a bad prompt. Let's just ask it to plan me a trip. So I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, start a new chat, and then I'm gonna say, plan me a trip to Hawaii, all right? So it will go ahead, it will do some thinking, and it will give me an itinerary, right? But the output is gonna be fine, it's not gonna be great. So let's see why the outcome is not gonna be great. ChatGPT has a task, okay? We gave it the task to plan a trip, but it has absolutely zero context about that task, and it also really doesn't have a goal. And these are the three items that you always need to think about when you give ChatGPT a prompt. So you need a task, you need context, the context in which the task is done, and you need a goal. So let's see how the prompt changes when we actually add context and a goal. And a great prompt for this would be, plan a trip for my honeymoon in the summer. We love beach destinations. We live in New York and we don't want to travel across the globe. Our budget is $1,000. Give me 5 destinations with prices and resort options. All right, so here's the task. We plan a trip. Here's the context. It's for my honeymoon. ChatGPT will know that it is supposed to be romantic. It knows we love beach destinations. It knows we live in New York. It knows our budget. It knows we don't want to travel for too far away. And finally, it also knows my ultimate goal of this task, which is 5 destinations with prices and resort options. So let's go ahead and see what it generated for us with a bad prompt. You see, Hawaii trip, 8 days, first timer route. Okay, it did a good job. It will do a good job. The AIs are made to do a good job even if you give it a bad prompt. But the budget is way outside of my limit, right? 3,000 to 5,000. And I don't want to go for 8 days, right? So let's start a new chat with a good prompt. Let's just see what I was saying before. Plan a trip for my honeymoon. We love beach destinations and we live in New York. We don't want to travel too far away, a maximum of 6 hours on the plane. Our budget is $1,000. Please give me 5 options with resorts, prices, etc. There we go. And now it will go ahead and it will do some thinking. So whenever you're working with the AI and you want to use it really, really well, think about how well of a job you would do if someone gave you that prompt that you're giving to the AI right now. A single line is never going to do well. All right. You don't always have to give a goal, but at least give a task and some context around it, right? Don't just say, write an email to my boss. Say, write an email to my boss telling him that I won't be able to come to work tomorrow. And the reason why I can't come to work is because of my dog who has to go to the vet. Okay. It's not good to think of AI as humans, but it is incredibly helpful. Honestly, it is very helpful to just think that you're talking to a human on the other line. And there we go. I now have 5 options with a $1,000 total budget. And this is exactly what I wanted, right? Same tool, just different prompt. And I use dictation. Like, giving a good prompt doesn't have to take forever. It can be quick. So now you know how to use AI. And if you follow what I've told you about the task, the context, and the goal, you will know how to use AI really, really well. And don't forget, this is now within the context of the chat. If you don't like these 5 options, just say, I don't really want to go to Cancun in Mexico. Give me another option for this. Or if you really do want to go to Cancun, just be like, okay, I think we want to go to Cancun. Give me some more options there instead. There we go. And it will remember what options I gave you beforehand, and now we'll dive deeper into Cancun. Fantastic. Let's move on. Let's talk about everything that you can do with ChatGPT, because honestly, you can stop this video right now and you can go ahead and use it for fun or for any kind of thing that is on your mind right now. Like, write a book with it. Who knows? Let's start ahead with the first most basic thing. You can ask it everyday questions. So in the past, anything that you've used Google for to find information online, find the best restaurant around you, whatever, use ChatGPT for that instead. Not just because it will find the results on Google anyway and give you a summary of those results, but because of the power of the memory. You can ask follow-up questions. When was it ever possible to ask follow-up questions on a Google search that you've done before? All right? Secondly, you can use it for step-by-step help. You have tech questions. You want to know how to do something specifically on your computer. Ask ChatGPT. Because, again, ask follow-up questions. You don't understand the first step? Ask it. It is amazing at that. Now, number 3, make it your conversation partner. Now, this might sound weird, but bear with me. What I love to do is I love for ChatGPT to be my devil's advocate. Whenever I have an idea, I give it to ChatGPT and I'm like, you're the devil's advocate now. Tell me why my YouTube series AI for seniors is not going to work. And it will just play devil's advocate with me and it will open up my mind a lot. Now, something else is, of course, writing emails and messages. Whenever you have to write an email for someone and you want it to be super formal and whatever, ask ChatGPT to do it. But my favorite way to use ChatGPT is for research. And I'm talking proper research. So let's see how we can do that. All right, let's talk about research with ChatGPT. It is incredibly powerful and it can take some time. It can take up to an hour to get results sometimes when you ask it for certain research tasks. But luckily, this is only needed for very, very few cases. And let me tell you why it's powerful. So the way that AIs work is whenever you ask it a question, it will tap into its own knowledge base to give you an answer. So if you ask it, what is the best restaurant in my city? It will give you a response instantly based on the information it already has about your city. Now, if you ask it to do research on the best restaurant in your city, it will not only tap into its existing knowledge, but it will literally go into the internet, do searches, find the best restaurants, go online, read the latest reviews, and then give you that response, okay? So it's basically like the difference between normal questions in ChatGPT and research questions is the same as if you were going to do research. A single Google search, for example, for what is the best restaurant in my area, I wouldn't call that research. You're just asking Google a question and you pick the first option that shows up. Now, if you really wanted to do research on the best restaurant in your city, you would do a first Google search, find the 5 articles at the top that say like top 10 best restaurant in my city. You will click into each article, you will look at each restaurant within that list, you would then go online and read about the reviews of each restaurant, and then you would have a very, very good idea based on proper research what the best restaurant is. And that is exactly how ChatGPT works as well. So let's see how we can enable this deep research. Start a new chat in ChatGPT and then click on this plus button, just like we did for when we wanted to upload file. And in here, click on the deep research button, okay? And now, whenever you give it a task, rather than just spitting out a response, ChatGPT will take its time. I've actually used deep research for the 5 last trips that I've been on, and it is amazing. Moving on. All right, finally, let's talk about context. So the more context ChatGPT has, the better it performs. A bad result from the AI is at this point in time not due to the AI being stupid. I can guarantee you the AI is incredibly intelligent. A bad result is very often just our fault. And remember what I said just minutes ago about the difference between a bad prompt and a good prompt? The gist of it is that the AI will do well if you give it more information, if you give it more context. Now, something that is really important is for you to understand context and use it properly, okay? And for this, we're gonna talk about the final thing, which is gonna be projects, which is a feature in ChatGPT. So, my case, I own a business, I own that accessibility tool that I talked about. And on a daily basis, I ask ChatGPT 40, 50 different questions about what I should be doing on my business. Like, what is the best marketing strategy? What should I do to figure out this new feature that I'm building? Where can I find more customers? Okay. If you remember at the very beginning, ChatGPT doesn't remember information between chats. Do I want to go into ChatGPT every day and firstly explain to it what my business is, who I target, what I do, and then get it to give me the information based on the context? No, that is so cumbersome. So something that we can do is we can create projects where you give ChatGPT a huge chunk of context once, and it will remember it between all chats. So let's do that. Now, go to ChatGPT again, and then click on this open sidebar button at the top, which is the logo of ChatGPT. Now, once you open that, you're going to see a ton of items. I want you to ignore all of them. You just scroll down to projects, and then you create a new project, all right? A project is essentially a place where you give the AI a lot of context about one specific project, of course. So let's make it my business. The project name is my business, and then we create the project, all right? And then once the project is created, it will take you to this page, which is my business. So to give it all of the context around my business, go down here and click on sources. All right. And within this, click on add sources. You can upload files, whatever. But in this case, we just want a simple text input. And in this text input, I'm going to give it all of the information that I wanted to have about my business. So my business name is Voicey, so Voicey information. And in here, I'm going to give a quick overview of Voicey. Voicey is a dictation tool that allows you to write with your voice everywhere on your Mac or your Windows computer. And then this bit of context, which is very short, just as an example, I save it. All right. And now see what happens. In my sources, I now have the Voicey information, and I want to start a new chat now with ChatGPT. And I ask it, tell me about Voicey. There we go. And rather than saying it doesn't know anything about Voicey, which is my business, it says Voicey is a dictation tool that lets you write with your voice anywhere on your Mac or Windows computer. And it will show me the Voicey information that I've just uploaded in there. All right. This might seem not very important, but think about the possibilities here. If you're using ChatGPT to write a book for you, if you're using ChatGPT to perform a big work project for you, or if you're using it for your job in general, you can use the project to upload critical information about your book, about your job, whatever, a single time. Do a good job one time with a good bit of context, and then you never have to repeat that ever again. ChatGPT will now know this context forever. And using projects is probably the best thing that you can do if you're always doing the same kind of like tasks with ChatGPT. I highly recommend you play around with that. So let's do a summary. Let's end this video with everything that we've learned so far. ChatGPT can do a lot. All right, the best thing that you can do right now is just experiment with it. Have fun with it. A good prompt, a good instruction has context, tasks, and goals for the AI. Use research mode for tasks that are deeper than a single Google search, all right? If you could answer your own question with a single Google search, you don't need research mode. If you need more than a single Google search, use research mode. It is fantastic. Be smart about your context, use projects, and most importantly, don't forget to have fun. And that is basically it. In this video, you've now essentially become an AI expert if you just go around and play with ChatGPT a little bit more. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you want me to change the style of recording, put it in the comments. And if you have any specific questions for me or things that you want me to record more videos about, again, put it in the comments. Subscribe to be updated on the next videos that I upload. And again, thank you so much and have fun with it. Bye bye.